Ajel Roberts, and welcome to the Mind Blowing Happiness podcast. Today, we're talking to the CEO's publicist, Carla Williams Johnson of Carly Media. And Carla is also my publicist. So she's going to be helping me later in the year with my upcoming book, The Anger Myth, Understanding and Overcoming the Mental Habits That Steal Your Joy. It's coming out spring 2024 from Roman and Littlefield. And I'm super excited. And I'm so excited to have Carla here. She's hailing from Trinidad. We love
Yes,
Trinis. How are you doing today, Carla?
I am good. And Trinis are lovable. Let me just tell you, we're so fantastic.
You are. So, my first question for you
Mhm.
is, how did you get into PR? Like, where did this start for you?
Okay, so funny story. I've always been into PR. I've always been getting people featured. I've always been a quote unquote publicist, but I never actually called myself one, which was weird, right? So all my life I've been into marketing, I've been in media, I've worked with the media houses in terms of getting people seen and heard. Um, and then one day somebody asked me, can you help me get featured? And I was like, no.
You said no.
Like, no, I can't do that, right? And they were like, but I'm seeing you everywhere and you know you're good at it. But it's so weird because sometimes when you're really good at something, you don't think that, other people struggle with it. And I said eventually I said yes. And within now this person actually was trying to get featured in different publications for over a year. That's what she told me, in over a year. And within 2 weeks of us working together, I got her in Business Insider. I got her on Thrive Global. I got in quite a few places in just 2 weeks. And that solidified it for me. It's like, you know what, Carla, you have a gift.
Hmm.
Like, you have a gift that other people, other entrepreneurs out there need to understand, appreciate, learn to do. You need to help them do it because you have it's almost as that's my mission in life, right? That's my mission on earth, like to help entrepreneurs get seen and heard globally so that they can get the eyes and ears on their brand so they can make more money. So
I, and
that's
I
how I started.
and I love that you say that too, because that's actually one of the 12 steps to mind blowing happiness is sharing your talents. And I think that you are so right. A lot of times we don't realize that our talents are marketable.
No.
I've been following a business coach called Rachel Rogers. She has a book.
Oh, I love her. We should all be millionaires.
We can
I
all be
not
millionaires.
only have I read the book, I literally tell every person I come into contact with that
Me
if
too.
you read nothing else, read
Me
that book.
too. And one of the things I started doing recently was book coaching. Like I've been coaching other authors on a
Mhm.
contract for a couple of years, but it wasn't until I sat down and went through her book and she was like, "Well, what else could you be doing?" And I was like, "Well, duh, why am I not coaching my people to write their books if that's what they want to do?" So, yeah, like so many times we don't even think about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so yeah, so anyways,
I
I'm excited about her too.
I think it's weird that we don't see ourselves the way other people see us. It's very
Me
weird,
too.
right? And as a publicist, I'm learning more and more that that is something that we all, the more of a genius you are, the more you suffer with that, right? You
Yes.
don't see yourself the way other people see you. And people will go on and on about how fantastic you are, but you don't see it for yourself. And my goal is really to help people see that within them, like hold up a mirror and say, no, you are fantastic. What you're doing is great. And there are people that absolutely love you. And I'm going to help you find those people.
Yes. So I sometimes use the moniker Slayer of Self Doubt, and it's funny. I was having a conversation with my daughter over the
Mhm.
weekend, where many times people who are really talented, who are really intelligent,
Mhm.
many times we surround ourselves with people who are smarter than us, and
Mhm.
then we think, well, maybe we're not that great.
Maybe, yeah, we started doubt. That's the imposter syndrome, right? Well,
That's exactly it.
maybe,
That is imposter
maybe
syndrome.
they're humoring us. Maybe we're not that great.
Exactly, exactly. As a matter of fact, I pulled up an old review that I got on when my memoir came out, which was what 2020. So the book is called Thinking Outside the Chrysalis, A Black Woman's Guide to Spreading Her Wings. And I pulled up the memoir because I was working on something, not the memoir, the review, because I was
Mm-hmm.
working on something for another client. And I looked at the review and I was like, oh my God, this is an amazing review. Carla, you would yell at me. I did nothing with it. I posted it nowhere. And I felt like maybe they just say that to everyone. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go and do something with it now. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, let me get us on today's topic. So
Yes.
today, I thought it would be really interesting to talk about leaving a healthy legacy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we recently had the loss of Tina Turner, which
Yeah.
was huge.
Yeah.
Um, and then also, you know, today's Memorial Day. So it's a day where in the US we honor fallen soldiers, you know, people that we've lost in the
Mm-hmm.
military. And it's also the last day of Mental Health Awareness Month. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought this would be a good topic to kind of touch on all of those things. So I know in my personal experience, I have lost both of my parents. I lost a sister at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I guess I know what it is to see the legacy that somebody leaves behind.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to ask you, what has your experience been like with loss? Have you experienced that yet?
I actually have. I lost my father. I think it was 2010. I don't remember because I try not to. I
Mm,
have not actually, come full circle. There are a lot of people that think that my dad is still alive because sometimes I actually speak about him in present tense. It's that serious.
mm,
But I will say that he has been so instrumental in making me who I am. I mean, simple things, right? He was the first entrepreneur in our family. We actually have a restaurant here in Trinidad, well-known restaurant. We're known for our parties,
oh,
right? So he was the first entrepreneur of the family. So here I am. The name of my business, Carly Communications, Carly Media. Yeah. The name Carly is the name that he used to call me when back in the day, he used to say, Carly, come to, like that was the name. That was my homage to him. So
mm-hmm.
it's even my son. My son is named after him. My father was Garnet Malcolm. My son is Malcolm Garnet.
Mm,
So everything that I do now is really to honor him. And I see where legacy is so important, that the things that you do in your life now can have a lasting effect later on, which is why I do what I do, because I've experienced it, right? And I want other people to experience the same. When you're going through it, you don't see it, but it's when like you start to think and you start to look back, you're like, okay, this is why this happened. This is why this person did this. This is why this is the path, the journey that I'm on. Because I need to, it was set for me, and I want to set this for my children and my grandchildren. So long after I'm gone, you know, the legacy continues.
yeah, yeah. So when I think of like my parents and my sister, it's funny because my sister passed away in 93 and she had left like a little money from one of her accounts for me, which was really nice because we were young. She was 31, I was 25. Um, but I remember very well that I took that money because back then computers were expensive, you know, and I got my first desktop computer and I started writing my first book, you know, so I will always remember that little, it was small, but it was big at the same time, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. 'Cause she
Yeah,
was
it's always the little things. It's
Mhm.
always the little things.
Yeah, yeah. And then I think a lot about the values, you know, like how you're talking about with your father, the things that they teach us that we remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I put together a list of 5 tips to
Mm-hmm.
kind of leave a healthy legacy. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll kind of go through them with you and you can give me your opinion on
I
each one.
It's what I do. Go ahead. What I
I knew you'd be fun to have on. So the first tip, and I don't know if this is necessarily the most important, but I made it first because I think this is the first thing people think about when they think about legacy. So the first tip is to get your money right. And anybody who follows me knows that I worked as a financial advisor for 12 years before
mm-hmm.
breaking free and becoming an entrepreneur. Um, so when I worked in finance, they used to teach us that you should leave 10 times your um, 10 times your annual income in
Mm-hmm.
either life insurance or like in liquid assets. Because the theory was that it takes 10 years, like if you have people who depend on you for support, it takes 10 years for the family to recover from your loss. So if you're making like $100,000 a year, you should have 1 million between life insurance and assets to leave behind for your family. And that
Mm-hmm.
was just kind of a little bit of a rule of thumb. I know a lot of people don't have that. But I will also mention that, let's see, we're at the end of May. So I'm launching the Black Girl Joy Experience, which is a 6-month
Mm-hmm.
program in July. And part of that, I will do a personal a personal finance workshop, which I don't do a lot of anymore, but that is a part of that particular group. So you guys can know about that. But what do you think about leaving that money behind?
You see, money is important, and I think don't we don't give money the respect that it deserves, because somewhere along the lines people told us, money is the root of all evil and you should not
Mhm,
love money. So
mhm.
talking about money sometimes could be a very difficult thing to do, for people, especially women. For some reason it's very difficult to talk to women about money. But I love what you said about, having that nest egg prepared for your family as they move on. I did not know it takes 10 years to get over a loss, but it makes sense because my father's been gone a long time and I have not recovered
Mhm.
from it. Financially, yes, emotionally, no.
Yeah.
But I like that rule of thumb, and I think it's very important because you want to be able to do what you need to do. You want to be able to live free. You want to be able to make decisions as necessary, and you need money to do that. You need money to do that, and therefore you need to have the conversations about money, and you need to be okay about having those conversations, those difficult conversations. And somewhere along the lines, especially as people of color, we've been told that we need to spend a lot, right? We have been encouraged to spend, big house, big car, all the bling and everything. That's great, but you have to be sure to put that money aside.
Yeah. And I think that sometimes that comes from a place of confidence, you
It
know?
does. I think am I frozen on your side? I'm frozen on my own side.
It's okay, just keep going.
As long as you can hear me,
I can hear you fine. Uh,
very well.
yeah. So I think that sometimes it comes from a place of confidence when, if you are marginalized or oppressed in society, um, it may make you want to have the physical attributes around you to appear in a certain way, to make yourself
Yeah,
feel
definitely. As long as you can
feel.
still hear me, because apparently now the camera is.
You just keep going. The audio is going to go, and the
Uh
more
huh.
more talking is the more editing for me. So just pretend we don't know. Pretend
Oh
um,
wow.
it's fine. Don't worry about it. Um, yeah, now I kind of lost my train of thought. But anyway, so we were talking about getting your money right
Mhm.
and how important that is. And I think you were also mentioning this kind of money mindset. We were talking about having the big house or the big car and those types of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And many times you have that, but you don't have the money behind it, right? Um, and then the other piece I think is what you were mentioning, and we both follow Rachel Rogers, and she really hit it right on the head.
Mhm.
This idea that money is the root of all evil that's gotten
Mhm.
into our minds, so that we don't pursue it when it really is a transfer of energy and it's
It
necessary
is.
for everything. So,
Definitely, it is. It is.
all right. So the first tip was get your money right. And
I approve. I approve this message, y'all. I approve this.
and I'll mention one more thing I've mentioned before, which is this year was the first year on my vision board. I put wealth at the center of the vision board because I was one of those people who was like kind of scared to talk about money. And
Mhm.
this year I really made it my mission to learn. Like I was a financial advisor for many years, so I know how to invest money. but learning how to really make money as an entrepreneur has been a different kind of journey for me and a
Mhm.
different mindset. So I will say that. All right. Okay. So the second tip, get your mental health together.
Oh my
Get
God,
your mental
yes.
health together. If your mental is not together, your legacy is going to be really shaky. Um,
Mhm.
I'm glad that mental health has become more of a big topic, especially since the pandemic.
Mhm.
Previous generations, I know, like my parents and prior to them, really were not thinking much about mental health. They were just thinking about survival. It's just really, are we still alive? If we're alive, then we're good. Um, so, if you are working on yourself to overcome past trauma, that is really a beautiful gift that you can leave for your legacy.
I agree with that. And I feel like there are so many people walking around that are not self aware, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're not self aware and getting their mental health together. Like back in the day, that was such a taboo subject. Like we could not even make the mention of, you know, burnout, mental health aware. Like that was not a thing. And if it was very hush hush. We did not discuss it.
Hmm.
But now, I mean, I keep telling people we're in 2023, right? We
Hmm.
have to move on from this whole what will people say, what will people think. We need to see about ourselves. We need to stop overextending ourselves. We need to put things right. Because if we're not good, then we can't be good for other people. If we're not, our best selves, how can we be our best selves for other people? That doesn't make any sense to me. So I endorse this. This
Yeah.
is gold. This is gold.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because I remember my first marriage, we went for like marriage counseling, and I wrote about this in my memoir. And I had to walk into this building where on the front of the building it said like mental health center. And I was just like, oh my God, I don't want anybody to see me see me going in there. But now I would happily prance into the mental health center, because I just think that it's so important. So
It
whether it
is.
is, through books or podcasts or working with a therapist or a counselor or a coach or, finding the self awareness that you were talking about,
Hmm.
to even ask ourselves the question, like, am I okay? You
Yeah.
know, there is a good test that I like to use for trauma.
Hmm.
So, like, if you have a memory and whenever you think of that memory, you are in pain, then that is a signal to you that you have not healed from your trauma,
Mm.
you know? So, that's a good test that anybody can use if you have a memory where it's like, you know,
Yeah, definitely worth looking into. And
mhm.
we need everyone at their best selves. At the end of the day, if you really truly want to leave a legacy, you have to be at your best self. And I mean, it's a work in progress. You don't wake up one morning and be like, okay, I'm fine. It doesn't work like that. It's a work in progress because we're all human. But we have to actually make active steps to be okay.
Yeah, and I think that that's the perfect answer. Active. When you talk about being self-aware, when you talk about making intentional, active steps towards your personal growth. One thing that I launched recently is my Black Girl Joy Toolkit.
Nice.
So, so it is free everywhere on my social media. If you get my newsletter, you probably had access to it, and it has some really lovely resources: plant-based recipes, guided meditation, yoga videos, all kinds of great things for your mental health from yours truly.
Great.
All right, so my third tip for you, Carla, and I know this is an easy one for you, it is to leave a positive impact. And it seems, I don't know, kind of seems obvious, but it could appear in a lot of different ways. So it could be,
Hmm.
maybe you raised a kind, loving child and left a good human behind in the world. It could be helping people with your business
Hmm.
or running a nonprofit, giving to charities.
Or
Uh,
just being an overall great person, right? Just help one person every day. Like It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be anything structured. It doesn't have to be anything, you know. You just have to be a good person.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we all are, well, I guess we're not all, but hopefully we are all
We
being
try. We
good
try.
people.
We try
Yeah.
to be good people.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be something like leaving behind a book, like
Mm-hmm.
I've done, and hopefully you and I are going to work on yours one of these days.
Yeah, that book needs to happen. So yeah.
So I guess the idea is that the world will be a little better
Yeah.
if because you were here. Like hopefully the world is better because you are here. Do you have, I don't know, any thoughts about leaving a positive impact besides the ones we already talked about? Or
My entire life is about helping people leave a positive impact. As a publicist, my goal, it's not really about promoting your business. I mean, that happens, yes, but that's not the focus. The focus is you. What are you doing? What is your message? What do you want people
right,
to know about you? What do you want to be known for when it's all
right.
said and done? What do you want to be known for? So, my entire life as a publicist is about helping people leave a positive footprint wherever it is they go, to connect with people, to motivate people, to inspire people, to educate people, to transform the lives of the people that they come into contact with. So, by essence, that's what I do. I help people leave a positive impact in the world. So, again,
And
these
I
are
love
some
that.
really good tips. We're I know we're only at number 3, but these are some really good steps. I
I love
love
what you're
them.
saying though, because a lot of people are never going to work with a publicist, but you can still think about what is your mission and what is your
Yeah.
message for your life. I used to give people, well, sometimes I still do give my clients like an assignment to write their obituary, and some people freak out about
Yeah,
obituary.
it's a little morbid, but I understand the thinking behind it.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have to do it as an obituary. You could just do it as like, what do I want to be known for, and just make that kind of your
Hmm.
essay. Yeah, yeah. All right, so good. All right, number 4. The next one is managing your digital presence. And this is like a newer one, I guess maybe in the past 10 years since we have Facebook and all this social media. So I did a little research today, and it's interesting because a lot of the social media platforms allow you to download your data, your pictures and your posts and all of those things. And then I learned that Facebook, you can create a legacy contact. So I went and I
I did
figured
not
out,
know
yeah,
that.
because like what happens to your profile if something happens to you? So I went into mine and I saw that my daughter was already in there. And I don't know how that happens. Maybe because Facebook knows she's my daughter. Like I don't remember setting that up. But then when I went into her profile, there were like settings where if I didn't change the settings, she wouldn't be able to download my data. So I went in there and I changed the settings. So if I get hit by a bus or something, my daughter can download my
I
Facebook.
did not know that was a thing, but that makes sense though, because in previous years I've known people who have
Passed
basically
away,
passed away and their
and the
profiles
profile
are
didn't
still
change.
there.
And
And very recently I've known of 2 people who passed away, but things still post for them.
that's what I was gonna say.
That's a little freaky though.
What I was going to say though too is that they were saying that if you don't like memorialize your post, I guess you have to give the death certificate or something to Facebook. And if you don't, Facebook will keep popping up with like memories, or like if Facebook doesn't know they're dead, it might send you like a memory
It's weird to
for
see.
you,
It's weird to see somebody that you think has passed
and they're still
posting,
posting.
especially if you have not come to terms
Right.
that they're gone. Because there's like one person in particular, I still don't believe she's gone. Like I don't.
Well,
And
it's funny too because if you use a planner, you could probably post for a couple months after you're
but the
gone.
thing is, it's a personal profile, so yeah,
You
it's
could do a,
weird.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's different.
I mean, what you're saying makes 1,000% sense, but it's still weird. So yes, I guess maybe keeping track of your digital presence, your online presence, is very important because again, that's how people are going to remember you from what they see online.
And they also give you the option to shut it down completely. So, like, I didn't have to give my daughter the rights to my profile when I'm gone. I could say when I'm gone, it gets shut down completely.
Oh,
But you still
ooh,
need somebody to go to Facebook and let them know that you're not here.
true.
So yeah,
This is this is this is new to me, but it makes perfect sense.
it's interesting. Yeah. So that was interesting. And I didn't know that I could download all my stuff. I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm, it
Mhm.
is. It is
While
actually.
you're alive. Okay. So, okay. So my tip number five, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm on number five. So, and I'm going to just recap them real quick. So the first tip for leaving a healthy legacy, one, get your money.
Money.
The second tip, get your mental health together.
Mm-hmm.
Third, leave a positive impact.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth, manage your digital presence. And the fifth one, which I love, remember that your relationships and connections are a legacy too.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I don't remember who introduced me to you, Carla, but whoever she was, do you remember?
Now that I'm thinking about it,
Know who
no.
it was. But like the people that you connect, which is one of the things like I love with doing groups or I love with doing retreats. Because even when I'm gone, like those relationships continue. And I just think it's so
Yes.
lovely.
You have me taxing my brain now. I'm trying to think.
I can't, I
I
don't
can't
I have no idea.
remember.
I have no idea. And I don't think it was someone that I knew well because if it was, I think I would know who it was.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't. Was it Tamara?
I
I
don't know
know it's
which Tamara.
Tamara.
I know more than one. So I'm not sure.
I don't know. Oh, that's, but look at that. It's true. And sometimes people, I think what happens with us with relationships, we try to, well, I can talk from what I've seen. A lot of times we try to control things, and in trying to control things, things don't grow and blossom as they should. But I think once you allow things to happen, then it grows. Because look at our relationship now, and it's true. Like, I have no idea who introduced us, but here we are today, right? Whoever that person is probably living their best life. We can't remember,
Yeah.
but because we allow the relationship to grow and flourish, and and I think that's such a good tip. Like, we have to be wary of relationships and understand that we need to allow relationships to grow. We can't control things. Sometimes people are meant for your life, sometimes people are not, right? And we have to just allow things to happen and allow life to happen.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. So those were my five tips. Now I
I love
know
them.
with your I don't know, with your PR background, is there anything else that pops up as a legacy from a PR perspective that we should think about?
Actually, no, I think you kind of covered everything. I mean, the only thing that I would say, which I guess would fall into tip number three, would be what is your message?
Yeah.
What do you want people to know about you, right? It's something that I ask my clients all the time when it's all said and done. What would you like to be known for? And that is literally the platform that I stand on as a publicist when it comes to my clients. So yeah, you basically covered it all.
It's funny,
You
I'm over
did
here looking because I'm like,
you
as
did a good job.
you're talking, I'm thinking, I changed my messaging and I'm like, what is it? Where is it? But I think I found it. So this is my new messaging, actually, Carl. I'm going to share it with you and with the audience. So it is to help professional women rediscover their authentic self, realign with their values, and walk in their purpose. And I used to say, I help you juice up your journey and find mind blowing happiness. But then I realized people don't really know what I'm talking about. So it's got
Yeah.
better, right? I'm getting better.
And that's what happens, right? We get to refine things as we go
Hmm.
along, because I mean, both statements are the same, right? Both
In my
statements are the
head,
same. No, but they are. It's
yeah,
just that one is harder to understand because
yeah,
of how it's structured, but at
right.
the end of the day, the goal is the same.
Yes, 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 yes. So that is perfect. Thank you so much, Carla, for taking this time to talk to me today. Do
You
you
are
have
so
any
welcome.
projects coming up that we need to know about? What's going on?
I have so many projects, it's ridiculous.
We
But
want to come to Trinidad. So what's going on?
please come to listen to me. If y'all have not experienced Trinidad, if y'all have not experienced our food or culture or carnival, you are missing out. You need to come. You need to come. There are lots going on here, and the weather is always perfect. Always. Yeah, always sunny. But yeah, there are lots of things that are going on in terms of my business. I'm actually working on an academy to help people grow in their knowledge of PR. I'm working on a retreat similar to yours where I'm going to help Caribbean based entrepreneurs and a few international based entrepreneurs build their brand through showing up. That's literally it, through showing up, getting seen, heard, and paid through just, being yourself,
And when is
right?
that going to happen?
Oh,
Because
everything
we're
is in
trying to figure out how to come
2020,
down there.
2024. 2023 is planning, 2024, we're in action. So everything is
Do
happening
you
in
know the month yet?
2024.
Or you're not sure?
I will keep you guys informed if you all follow me on social at Carly Communications, Carli Communications, right? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, there I am. Find me, YouTube, find me, right? All the information and content will be there. But 2024 is the year that, yeah. Right now, we have lots of planning for these big things, but in the interim, if you guys want to work with me, if you're looking for a publicist, if it is that you definitely want to leave that legacy, as Trisha's talking about, you know, I would love to help you. Am I
Okay. Well,
frozen again?
I will put everything in the show notes as Carly Communications,
Yes.
and we will look for you. So let me sign us out.
Yes, I'm frozen again. I don't know what's going on. It is what it is. Technology. It is what it is.
All right, let's sign us out. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Mind Blowing Happiness podcast. You can follow me on social media and download your copy of the Black Girl Joy Toolkit. I will also post the link in the show notes. The Black Girl Joy Toolkit is an ebook with links to empowered rest practices, relationship resources, gratitude techniques, plant based recipes, and
Mhm.
more. Enjoy the rest of your day, and may your journey be juicy.